Hey y'all, CB here, the No BS Welder. I'm coming at you today, Friday evening. I got an afternoon, I can do something I've been trying to get to do for quite a while. If you follow the channel, you're probably familiar with my cement mixer full of nails that I tumble small steel parts in to clean them up. Saves a lot of work grinding a lot of times. Let's take a look at her here. I think this come from Northern Tool, this cement mixer. The switch went bad. I wired her in, hot wired her in straight. As soon as you plug it in, she starts a whirling. It's got all sorts of nails and screws and hard metal in it. And I had some water in it. It's the reason that there's some surface rust. Don't worry, if you tumble that a little bit, the rust will be gone. But yeah, this thing, a lot of people really liked how, I throw small steel parts in here and I tumble them and it cleans them up. This one is a little worse for wear. It wasn't a very thick cement mixer to begin with. And you can see it's taken a beating. And so that's that. This video is going to be about the upgrade version of this, because there's a few things on this that I would like to have a little bit better. Now, you do have to have, I think, it's helpful to have a door on this thing to keep the nails from flipping out. For it to tumble good, you need to tilt it down sideways. And if you tilt it down sideways, without a cover on the lid, nails will fly out of there, and we don't want that. We don't want nails and screws coming out of it. So I'll show you the way that this is set up to use. You see where these eye bolts are on here, I've got a small ratchet strap that I hook on them eye bolts, and I also have let me find it here. There's a little plastic lid. This actually come off a bucket, and that fit on there pretty good. And a lot of times I put some roofing rubber under it as a gasket, but I don't think that's necessary, just to keep the nails in it. But I would put this plastic cover on here, and then I'd run the ratchet strap across the top and bind her down. That could be upgraded for sure. So one of the things I would like to have is actually a hinged steel door on the thing. Another thing I would like to have on it is I would like for it to be bigger. And I bought a bigger cement mixer that come from Harbor Freight last year. I just haven't had time to rig it up and do the upgrades. So we're going to try and get that done today. So here's the one that I bought. Either this past year or the year before, I bought this one. You don't want the mixers that come with it. You don't want those in there. All it'll do is, like, your nails, these are so big for mixing concrete and mortar. You know, these normally would be bolted in here to mix. It'll just make your nails come all the way up and then slam down, and all the way up and then slam down. So in the other one, I didn't put anything on the inside. I just left it, let it roll like that. And I don't think that's ideal either. I think I should have some bars in there to help it tumble, but they can't stick out and be this big like for mixing mortar. That thing's 5 inches, 4 inches, or 5 inches wide. We need something across there that's maybe an inch or an inch and a half, 2 inches or less. That would, and I think if you had those, some small bars in here that helped it tumble, you could probably get more cleaning done in a shorter period of time. Because I do often, on that other one, I'd leave it out there and it would have to run for several hours to really clean some stuff up. And so what I think I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to cut me 5 bars to put inside of there. And I was wondering what would be the easiest way to divide this equally by 5. And I was looking at this bolt pattern and I see how I took my finger. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll just go by them bolts. And that'll tell me right where to equally space those bars. And then on the lid right here, what I'd want is somewhat of a flange. I want some kind of a flange. And then another one over top of that that'll hinge. And what I've got these 22-inch circles. I got a bunch of these that are left over from work I used to do in the oil field. And I haven't done this type of shit in a couple years. So this is leftover stuff. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to cut a hole in it the size of that top right there. And I'll put it with another one like that. And then one of them can be a door. And I got a hinge right here. I think I can make this hinge work. Could probably cut the hinge and weld it on there. And I'll have to figure something to hold the other side. But I think a hinge door like that would be a lot more convenient. So we'll try that. So yeah, try and do a little upgrade on the cement mixer full of nails. I have used that other one a lot and it does work good. And it saves me, with small parts, it saves me a lot of grinding and sanding and stuff. So I think it's worth taking an afternoon and getting this thing rigged up to clean parts with. So that's what's going on. There's a couple critical points that we need to talk about on this cement mixer. We got to look at the stickers. We're going to be using this for a tumbler, and the stickers, see right here, it says for cement and mortar only, do not use with epoxy 2-part resin mix. The reason that's irrelevant is because we're probably never going to put mortar or 2-part resin or anything in here but metal. So that's not that funny, but let me show you the funny one. We got a sticker right here that tells us not DOT approved for highway towing. Do not tow on highway. So we look at this rig. This is our axle setup and our wheels. And you can see the sort of axle bearings we got here on this setup. And they told us that they've let us know that this is not for being towed on the highway. Really? Tacked up 1/8 by 1 flat bar in there. Got our hole cut in this baby. Took this hinge, cut it down where it'll fit like that. And I cut a little notch in the other piece right there. And the reason I did that is because when this plate sits over top the other plate, I think I'm gonna try to put this little latch on it and see if that'll work to latch it shut. So this part of the latch would actually have to be welded to that plate, but I need this notched out so this can reach over. So we'll see if that, we'll see how that works. The thing was pretty thin. I actually blew a hole clear through it in one spot I was welding. Good piece of my MIG wire right there. One good thing about that MIG, if you do blow a hole, man, it's easy just to fill it right back in. But got good penetration. All right then. We got that doozing done. Got the flat bars in here. Hopefully that'll flop the metal around a little better. We got this lid right here. Hinge her up like this. And this is a latch. I bought latches I bought a whole bag of them somewhere. Might have ordered them on the internet, I don't know. But they was in there. I got stuff. There's just stuff around here. When I'm building something, I go look at the stuff and then I get an idea. This handle, I noticed, to move this thing around sucks. And it made me think of a wheelbarrow is a lot better. And that made me, I decided to do this with these. These are some real light tent poles that I had here, like off of one of them little carport awning things that you know, you end up with the powder coated tent poles because the tarp of the awning thing will, after it's in the sun, it'll rot and be no good. But all right, so we fabricationalized a tumbler is what we did. That's the do's in here that we got done. And we need to put some nails and metal and hunks of stuff in it and see if it'll clean up a piece of steel, I guess. The other thing I was thinking, I might be putting grinding wheels in there. And I'm definitely going to throw these in there. These Metabo grinding wheels came with a grinder I bought, and they're worthless. I mean, these things right here, these are the worst grinding wheels I think that I've used some really cheap grinding wheels. Anything that Harbor Freight's got is better than this Metabo wheel. This thing gets slick immediately, and it won't grind jack nothing. So we'll throw them in there with the nails and let them break into a million pieces and just see what happens. Maybe some of the grit that's in here could possibly benefit, but if not, I don't know, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Grinding wheels, hunks of hard metal, nails, screws, welding rod stubs. You can throw about anything in one of these things and it'll do something. So let's try it out. We'll get her loaded up and get her spinning. We got a bunch of screws and nails, and of course them 4 grinding wheels are in the bottom. And I was looking for some stuff to put in there, and I got a lift eye that's been outside. It's pretty rusty, not terribly pitted yet, but decent amount of surface rust, and it looks like some mill scale under it. Then I got a set of hinges that's rusty. Rust and mill scale, I would say. And then I was looking for something coated, and I think this is powder coated actually. This is from a ratchet strap, I think. So this coating is like a lot thicker than paint. So we'll close that up in there and get her whirling and see what it does to it. Ran the tumbler for 20 minutes, and one of the things that I got going on here that I didn't really want to happen, a couple days ago, or maybe it was yesterday, I had sprayed the other tumbler full of nails, and these are the same nails. I had sprayed it out with water trying to get rid of a bunch of black dust that was in it, and those nails were still wet when I took them out of that other one and put them in this one. So the stuff is wet, and I pulled this hinge out of there and I dried it off, and it looks pretty good. It definitely cleaned it up a bunch. It got rid of the rust. It ran for 20 minutes, and you know, it did good, but I don't think it did as good as it could have, because with that being wet in there, that water's acting as a lubricant, so it's reducing the amount of friction, and we want as much friction as we can get. I don't think I want the water in there, so I'm gonna take this big old towel. It's pretty nasty. It's got paint and everything. I'm gonna throw it in there with it and tumble all this metal and all them nails with this towel and see if it dries itself out some. So it's another 30 minutes I run it with the towel in it to dry it out, and that, I think, give me the result that I wanted as far as drying it out. The parts are not wet now, so and you know, the nails, I can see the nails are not wet now. All the dampness got absorbed by the towel, and evidently that towel was big enough to take care of it. So this is 50 minutes that these things have been in the tumbler. So there's the lift eye. It looks pretty good. That hinge was welded on something temporarily. That looks pretty good. So that's what the plate looks like. So I wonder where that hook's at. I'm gonna put my phone down and dig it out. Found the hook, and it didn't take that coating off the hook in 50 minutes. I don't know how it would do if you ran it a whole lot more. Like I said, when I was cleaning up parts with it before with the little one, a lot of times I'd run stuff for hours, 3-4 hours, 2 hours at minimum. It did do a good job on the plates in 50 minutes. The other one wouldn't have done this good in just less than an hour, and I'm sure that's because of the flat bars. The flat bars are forcing it to tumble. I have seen in that one, if I run it with the cap off of it, the nails would sort of sit in the tumbler, and just some of them would just slide like this as it rotated. Some of them would tumble over with the metal, but not all of them would. I would say having these flat bars in here is going to force those things to tumble, which is going to help the thing. So we'll be using this more, and we'll see how it does. I moved it from the shop over across the lot with those handles, and man, those handles are far and away much better than that handle that came on it. It moves like a wheelbarrow, and it's easy to handle, so that's a big help. And that's tumbler for metal. I'm pretty happy with it for the time it took. I don't have more than an hour or so in the actual modification of it. I think that first piece of video was about 25 minutes, and then I don't know the second piece of video. I'm not sure how much it was, but of course when I put it through, I'll fast forward it so it's not so boring if I make a video on this one. But yeah, that's it for that. New tumbler, cement mixer full of nails. Thanks for watching. Hey y'all, we're coming to you from the break room here at NBA the t-shirts we got. The MBS Welding t-shirts got MBS Welding on the front, American flag on the sleeve. Great big MBS Welding here on the back. Helps the channel if you buy a t-shirt. If you're interested in a t-shirt, send Tina an email request. nbswelding@aol.com. Thank you.